Mm.
Oh man. Sha la 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 la, yeah. Zeus went down to Concord to watch that Ring of Honor. They had Roosh and Bandido and PCO and lots of others. You know, Nick Aldis and Strictly Business. They stopped by. We'll hear all the stories and all about the Smackdown with Johnny Mundo on Mark Out Mania live this Saturday morning. Yeah. Oh God. Out with everyone else. All of the awesome stories. That Zeus, he's so super famous. So get ready to mark out. Live on Mark Out Mania.
Woo! You almost 100% redeemed yourself from last week.
Oh my God! I'm glad. I did do a nice recording this week, so I will have that.
That was good. That was good, Pedro. Good job.
Oh my goodness! Hey,
and yeah, Zeus is super famous.
Zeus is super famous. Welcome everyone to the Mark Out Mania show.
I think Zeus will be still hosting the Slammies if it was around.
Yes.
That would be fun. I'd take that job.
What's up, everyone? Mark Out Mania. Yeah, the God of Thunder's been everywhere lately. Woo!
Yes.
Thunder.
It's been a week, man. It's been a crazy ass week. We've had
it's been a good 2020 for you. What are you talking about?
It's been a hell of a week. We had NWA Power.
Mm-hmm.
We had, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Impact. Everybody's been doing something, man. This has been
NXT was hot this week too.
NXT at the big women's battle royal and
Fantastic Mania. They had the family tag team tournament happened.
I gotta get into that.
Oh, it's fantastic. I
gotta get into that. I have no desire to get into it, but I know I have to.
But that's the thing, is it's so much fun to watch because there's just it's so basic.
Yeah.
That you're just seeing faces and heels go at it. It's just easy. It's just really easy to watch.
Yeah.
And
I gotta get into it.
Yeah, they got Titan and
I know some
and
really some great talent on that show. I know some good people.
Highway with the new mask this year. He's a little.
Yeah. It's where he lost his mask in Mexico, so.
Well, he's not in Mexico now.
I know.
Is this happening in the Tokyo Dome or no? No, right? Not Tokyo Dome.
It's been around. I mean, it's just various smaller arenas.
Oh, okay.
But
Namahake Desperado. But
hey. Keep it kayfabe.
So today Zeus is going to give us all the rundown because he went to Ring of Honor in Concord, went to SmackDown in Greensboro
last night.
Just last night. He's been to all the big shows.
He's signing autographs. He's
I know.
Taking pictures. He's being interviewed. He's hacking products. What's wrong with this guy? He's all over the place.
But before we get into that, let's hit up on some of the things this week. Y'all watched NWA Power? Any thoughts?
Oh yeah, I mean it's we're gearing up for hard times.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Aldis has been He has been, calling his shots, and he's not making any more friends, and it was team Aldis against Team Morton this week.
Yep.
And that was with the mighty mathematician.
Oh my God,
Scotty Steiner.
Oh man,
that guy should not wrestle ever again.
And he came out with that NWA Blue World Tag Team title belt.
Yeah, you saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, look at that.
I was like, yeah. We got a nice dose of me and my brother, Emmy Y-A-N, my brother.
Everything with one word, me and
my brother.
When he took off the chain stuff, when he has the chain stuff on, he still you still have that facade. It's Scott Steiner from before, but then when he takes it off and you see him bald and he looks so old, it was kind of sad.
Did he shrink, or he's just that hunched over? He's hunched over now, right?
It's a little of both, I think. I mean, he put his body through hell. I mean, he really did. I mean, and I imagine it, because there were several kind of little spans in, late 90s WCW where they kind of, would disappear for a month or so where they were hurt, him and Rick, and, it's just kind of, I think they, they were one of the teams that kind of really started, doing too much, and, Steiner just kept, getting bigger and bigger, to make up for the lack of movement. But be that as it may, we got to see Team Morton, which was Robert Gibson, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Eli Drake.
Eli Drake.
And Tim Storm.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to confess something here. I was hoping just for a small smidgen. I was like, well, if Aldis has Scott Steiner, and everybody was wondering who's going to be part of Ricky Morton's team, I was hoping just for a smidgen, just for a little mark up that it was the Midnight Express. I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Oh man.
Yeah, I would have like yes.
Gibson and Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane. Boy, that'd have been
Stan Lane. Yeah. I was like, just for a smidgen, I was hoping, but you know what? I'm all in on Tim Storm. I'm all in on Tim Storm and Eli Drake, so it was cool.
What else happened on the show? Oh no, yeah. Well, okay, so they had that match, and what was the outcome, Zeus?
Team Morton got the win.
That's right.
So now Ricky Morton gets a shot at Sweet Charlotte
at some point. Yeah.
And Scott Steiner should never wrestle ever again.
Also, the Pope was out there with.
He was out there. That's right. Yeah. I'm dying to see him get back in the ring, man. I'm dying to see him go in the ring. He can still go, right? Nothing wrong with him, right?
I don't think so. I mean, he's just fantastic on the mic, man.
He is. He's great on the mic. He is.
He was with Eddie Kingston and Homicide, but he seemed to be not so with them at the end there.
No, he definitely was not. He was definitely disappointed in their performance at the end of that match. And you guys know that, like, Zicky Dice is like, he's like begging you to do any podcast. He will do any, we could actually have him.
I think we should get him, because fucking Ricky Starks just got on his mom. That was hot.
Oh, yeah.
My ass off. He was like, what have you done lately? He was like, well, besides your mother. I was like, what? I was like, where's Zero when you need him?
Right?
That was awesome.
That was some serious your mama jokes right there.
Yeah, I lost it. That was the last thing I expected. I was like, oh my god, that was hysterical.
Shout out Oh, I was just gonna say shout out real fast to YYH in the chat room.
Y2H2, what's going on, W?
Brr, brr.
Yes,
But
Ricky
yeah, but I think we should get Ziggy Dice on here. Hell yeah, why not?
that would be interesting. We would have to brush up on our Zicky Dice knowledge.
No kidding.
Yeah, well, you know,
because mine's pretty non-existent.
Oh my
yeah,
god!
I don't know what's up with those tattoos.
Our chances of getting him on the show have now dropped.
I'm just saying, if he were to come on, I'm pretty sure he would just run his mouth the entire time.
Yeah. It'll be one long 1 hour promo.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Oh, what did y'all think of Ashley Vox versus Melina?
Is it me or Melina's like looked high?
Rusty.
Yeah, she is rusty, but she looked high during that interview afterwards too. Like I don't know if she was trying to remember her lines or like her look with her eyes. I don't know. I don't know how Johnny Mundo put up with that for all that time. That's brutal.
Have y'all ever seen that skit comedy show Portlandia?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, James, have you seen when Fred and Carrie do like the goth couple, and like Fred will be like, like he'll do that.
Yeah.
Okay, the faces he makes, like Fred Armisen makes, as that goth guy. That was like the faces Melina was making in this match.
Yeah.
She would do stuff, and she'd make like that Fred Armisen goth face.
Yeah.
Like the episode where Fred Armisen was trying to get that. There's that girl working at the deal, and she said to call her whenever they needed something, and he would be like, Jamie. She was He was making those faces, Jamie.
That was a good show, Portlandia. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Melina. Either she's extremely rusty, like you say, Roos, or she's high, or she's on something, or she's just not giving a total fuck. Because she was like that after match interview, that whole post match angle, that was shit. That was horrible.
But I mean, who really wants to see Allison Kay versus Melina? Like, no one wants to see this match, do they?
No, I have zero interest in that. I have zero interest in that.
Put the belt on Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, that's the only thing they can do.
I mean, she is far and away I mean, she's the best. She's the best one on the mic. She's the best woman in the ring. She's the best woman with the crowd. I mean,
she's so over in the NWA. She's so over.
No brainer. I mean,
yeah, it is.
There is. I mean, they just need all new women to come in to battle her because they don't have a lot.
Yeah,
you know, it's a drop off.
Yeah, because how many times are we gonna be able to do ODB against her? I mean, what? You know, that's the only viable match that she's been in right now. Everything else has been like, you know, I don't think anybody else can keep up with her.
Yeah.
So yeah, NWA Power was good. They always are. I mean,
yeah.
You know. Did either of y'all see AEW?
I didn't see any of it this week. I think I flipped around a little bit Wednesday night, but I was doing something else too. So
I watched
AEPU.
I watched it. It wasn't as bad as last week, which was probably the worst show they've had so far. Which is, you know, we said that last week. That was saying a lot. They're pretty bad, but it still wasn't good. But I also, you know, concede I'm not the target audience for this. So it's just not, you know, we're not the target audience. So,
and what? Now I got a second show in the works. Is that right?
Yeah, they got extended to 2023, and they're gonna have a second show on one of the Turner channels. Yeah.
AEW Thunder, really?
Probably something like that. Probably not Thunder, but probably something.
And then NXT. James, NXT UK Takeover from Sunday. What about that show?
That show was unbelievable. It was good matches. It was a good show. the post match shenanigans after the Walter main event, which by the way, it was a good match.
Oh yeah,
it was a good match, but the Undisputed Era live in Blackpool, that was kind of hot.
Oh,
that was
man.
kind of hot. That was
That
hot.
was
And Walter was pissed. Yeah.
that angle was nuts.
Yeah, man. Oh, the whole crowd was chanting Undisputed. That was hot. That was hot. I thought TakeOver was good.
Was that what was that main event?
It was Walter versus Joe Coffey. So Joe Coffey, Joe Coffey is the leader of Gaius, which is like these Scottish asshole heels.
Yeah.
And he was challenging Walter, the monster bully heel leader of Imperium. In terms of, I thought the match was really good in terms of what they did in the ring and the storytelling and the action. All that was great. I know a lot of people weren't looking forward to the match, and a lot of people weren't into the match because they were like, Joe Coffey, like, why would you put an asshole heel against a monster asshole heel? You know, I can concede that in terms of the idea, I can see where.
Yeah, but the match worked, though, Pedro. It actually did work.
Yeah, but if the audience is not going to get invested in the challenge,
oh no, I agree. I agree.
A part of it doesn't work in a way,
Yeah.
But it's not because they did bad work in the match. The match was awesome, in my opinion. It was awesome. That
was good.
Jordan Devlin, Tyler Bate was super good too, and the women's three-way. Oh my god,
that match was sick. I gotta give love to Piper. She was awesome in that match.
Yeah, Piper, Nevin,
man.
Tony Storm, Kaylee Ray. Yeah, that was all good stuff.
I got number love of Piper and Nevin. She was killing it in that match. Holy shit.
I love that part where Tony Storm had the chair and Piper thought she was going to hit her with it, so she's like screaming at her, "Head me! Head me!" And Kaylee Ray's on the apron just eating it up because she's like, haha, they're turning on each other. And then they like stop and they look at her and she's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good, man. It was good stuff.
NXT was awesome on Wednesday. That done.
Keith Lee's a savage. He turned Hulk.
He turned Hulk.
He turned Hulk.
That Pete Dunne, Matt Riddle versus Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. That match was awesome.
That match was incredible. It was the best match of the night, actually.
Just two more things.
And the women's battle royal.
Oh yeah, the women's battle royal was good. That three-way for the cruiserweight title shot thing was good too. Which a kill shot.
Yeah.
Shane and Leo Rush and some other dude.
Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze, the man who makes the fabric softener.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
Also, really fast, on Tuesday at Arena Mexico, they had the Reyes del Aires, like the Kings of the Air. They have this little Cybernetico tournament. They have it every year. That was super good. If you haven't seen that, you should go check that out. That was really good. And
also Pedro, and new Impact World Champion.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to get into that. I really don't want to touch all that, Jay.
Well, I figured I have to mention that she is the new Impact champion. But
she is the new Impact World Heavyweight champion.
We can leave it at that. That's fine.
I don't really want to get involved.
We can just leave it. I just want to acknowledge that she won the strap. That's it. We can just leave it right there. It's all good.
I think it was Thursday night. Mas Lucha streamed a show that I think the show happened in 2018, but this Mexican indie show. But they had this match between this lady Zafiro and this guy named Carnicero. He goes his last part. Sometimes it's Texas, sometimes it's Juarez, but he's basically Leatherface. It's this huge, over 6 foot tall guy dressed like Leatherface. So it was him versus this lady who's like half naked, and it was just him beating her up really like slowly and badly, and the referee was helping, and then at one point he took out a piece of meat, like a steak, and he was like hitting her in the face with this piece of steak.
Nice.
And Bean and I were watching this. We were like, what the hell are we seeing? What the fuck are we watching? It was insane. So if any of you want to see just an insane, like, is this really happening thing, watch that. So.
Beating people up with America's favorite meal, dead animal flesh. All right.
And Fantastic Mania Night 3, watch Teton Forestero and the Family Tag Tournament Finals. Watch those 2 matches. So, Zeus.
Yeah.
You tell us some stuff. What you saw.
Yeah, you've been a busy boy lately, buddy.
All right. So Sunday, drove down to Concord and for Ring of Honor Reigns Supreme, and got there and got to meet the Ring of Honor World Champion, Monsieur Pierre-Carl Alouette, PCO.
He's awesome.
He was a very nice gentleman. He signed a photo and took a photo with me. He was really nice to everybody. It's just amazing because you can tell he's in pain, but he's still going. And then
he was holding the Ring of Honor title. I saw you with the belt. Good job.
Yeah, man. That's a pretty hefty belt too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's no joke. That's a nice chunk of metal.
Oh, wow.
And not quite as heavy as the AML title, but it's right up there. Then met Dragon Lee and Roosh. They were both very nice. I told Dragon Lee, I said, saw you, on the Wrestle Kingdom weekend, with the Liger retirement, and he's like, yes, he's like, I'm still busted up about that, so that's pretty cool. And so I got a seat right on the aisle on the way in, and there was not a bad seat in that entire place. And it was basically the same setup as they had for the Crockett Cup. Everything was all right there. And so they had a dark match, a couple of young tag teams going at it. That was fun and exciting, and got the crowd going. And then the show started. And there, you got Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman on the broadcast, and then out of nowhere, here comes NWA World Heavyweight Champion Nick Aldis and Latimer and Camille, and they crashed the broadcast table, and they start telling everybody what's what.
Strictly business.
That's right. Strictly business was. Holding down, and then they they're going after making jabs at I found out later at Villain Enterprises, and then they Brody King and Flip Gordon came out and ran them off, and security had to step in to keep that from turning into a full brawl, but that was a really cool way to start the show right there. And it's funny too, because like Nick Aldis had posted a picture of him having breakfast Sunday morning at a Cracker Barrel. And I was like, that looks like the one that's right off the highway in Kannapolis or Concord. And somebody was like, oh, all the damn Cracker Barrels look alike. I'm like, yeah, but I really looked into it, and I was like, you could see the reflection of the highway in the window glass behind him.
Right.
I was like, I think he's in North Carolina. I think he's going to be there.
Sure enough.
Yeah, sure enough. And so then the card started. We had Andrew Everett versus Luch's favorite, Ray Horace, the former Dragon Azteca Jr.
Ooh.
And Ray Horace came out in this awesome, like, silver and blue outfit, and he was just, they were killing it. I mean, they had a great match, high flying, and Ray Horace did like a sunset flip bomb off the turnbuckle and got the win. It was very impressive.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Then it was supposed to be Dalton Castle and Joe Hendry, who I'm familiar with Dalton Castle. Joe Hendry I really didn't know, but he was really over with the crowd. And then the Briscoes came out.
I love the Briscoes.
Yeah, and they're very over
Mm-hmm.
in Concord, and they were at the Crockett Cup too, and then this guy Brian Johnson comes out and starts running his mouth on the mic, and he's just saying how good he's going to be, and he's the Mecca, and all this stuff, and his time is coming, and and then out of nowhere, here comes PJ Black to try to get him to shut up and calm down.
Whoa.
Who just happens to stand right next to you, by the way. I saw that.
Yeah. And so then the other two teams in the ring start telling Brian Johnson to put up or shut up, and they turn it into a triple threat tag team match.
Nice.
And
Whoa.
and so that was a fun match. Dalton Castle and Joe Hendry ended up getting the win, and it was just that was just fun. And like I said, I mean, it was great to see PJ out of nowhere, and because I didn't realize he was at the center stage show the night before as well. Or else I would have bought one of his shirts. I didn't even see they were selling his shirt until I was walking out. I was like, oh damn. And then we had Nicole Savoy, who had a interesting kind of Sub-Zero theme to her tights against Sumi Sakai, and she's turned heel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sumi Sakai is heel, and she really worked it well, man. She's straight up old school heel. She knows how to do that. And a pretty good match. And at one point, the action went outside the ring, and they're coming back in, and the referee's trying to come back in the ring. Well, Sumi Sakai kicked the rope right up between the ref's legs.
Nice.
And, yeah, he didn't see it, so he went down, and through some shenanigans, Sumi Sakai got the win. And then another dude who is really over with the fans is this guy Danhausen. Have you guys ever seen this dude?
Who?
Danhausen?
No.
Have
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Well, he's got this kind of weird, white and black theater face and crazy tattoos, and like he adds housing to everything. Like, we're getting ready for the match housing, and there's people on Twitter, like even our buddy Dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
His Twitter name right now is like Doghausen. And people are putting housing on all kinds of stuff on. So he's got this really like friendly and fun personality with this creepy look, and he interacts with the fans. I mean, you talk about a guy who, like, I'd never seen him before, but I mean, he was really over with the crowd, and I mean, people were just, on board with him from the get-go. And I was really impressed because I've seen some guys who are supposed to be, like local guys who should be over with the crowd, and they don't know how to connect.
Right.
And so he wrestled this big ass dude, this big tall dude named Dak Draper, who was apparently, I think they said he was making his Ring of Honor debut maybe, and big tall, asshole brawler, and he got the win over Danhausen. Then we had Alex Zane, who's apparently been making a lot of noise on the independent circuit. Apparently he's gonna start wrestling for Ring of Honor more, but he beat Bandito.
What?
Really?
Yeah. And that was a good match. They're both good at high flying and high fast paced action. I enjoyed that match. I was honestly surprised to see Bandito go down, but Bandito, and Ray Horace and Flamita won the Ring of Honor 6-man titles the night before in Atlanta.
Right.
So at the Center Stage show. So that was, once again, that was pretty interesting. So then we had one of James's favorites, Vincent.
Oh.
Vincent, and he's got a new dude with him named Bateman, and they've got a creepy, sexy goth chick and a weird looking minion dude. He's got his own new little cult, and of course he's out there telling people, it's like Taven, you were nothing without me. I was the kingdom. You lost after we split up and all that stuff. So he's doing his thing, and they had against Lifeblood, Tracy Williams and Mark Haskins, who they're getting there. I think those two guys are kind of getting there. They're decent. They're decent baby faces. But they ended up getting the win by DQ because the crazy cult people were caught doing shenanigans.
Is Vinny Marsala? Oh, I'm sorry. Vincent, is he wrestling like he did in the Kingdom, or you totally switched it up?
He seems kind of evilish, kind of.
Yeah.
I have a question, Zeus.
Yeah.
You said there's a weird looking minion. Was it the mutant?
No, it was not the mutant. It was not the mutant. It was not the halitosis queen or some pudgy balding dude with some like clown makeup on.
Okay.
Yeah. So then they had a huge 8-man tag team match. Dan Maff and Jeff Cobb came out, and then Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and so that's one team, and they were up against another one of James's favorites, Silas Young.
I like Silas Young.
Yeah, Silas Young and Josh Woods are that reluctant tag team that they don't have a good name. They're two guys, one tag, which is a terrible fucking name. It's a terrible fucking name for a tag.
Yeah, it is.
But they were, as them, and they're dressed, they got the same gear and stuff on, and it was those two and these two guys named the Bouncers, which is the Beer City Bruiser and Brian Malonis, and they're a couple of big, chunky, hefty, beer chugging dudes, and that was a fun match. Action all over the place, and of course, Jay Lethal and Gresham were, they were being they were wrestling like heels, and they definitely weren't getting along with Jeff Cobb and Dan Maff, and of course, Jeff Cobb does Jeff Cobb stuff, which is stuff that nobody his size should be able to do, and he's tossing people around and doing his thing. Well, then Jay Lethal and John Gresham, they get a rhythm going, and they isolate everybody else out of the match, and it finally Dan Maff got pissed off, and they were like fighting amongst each other, but they I can't remember if it was, I think Jay Lethal still made the pinfall. But that was, like I said, that was a fun match. And all 8 of those guys were really solid pros. I mean, I didn't see a lot of botches, or these guys all really know what the fuck they're doing, and they don't do crazy ass shit to do crazy ass shit.
Right.
And people were still invested, in the match. And that pretty much every match. Now, like, Ray Horace did a dive over the corner turnbuckle outside the ring, but it was, it was later in the match, and it was like a, hitting a home run, for him. That was fantastic. Then we had Flamita, the final member of the World 6-Man Tag Team Champions in singles action, against the mercenary Flip Gordon. That's another fun match. Flip Gordon, he kind of wrestles like a heel, but he's still really cheered. So, it's it's like I said, fans were still invested. Flip Gordon got the win there. Flamita looked really cool. The former with Nightclaw, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the pink and red gear was really cool, I thought. I was like, wow, that's some
sharp
cool flesh. Yeah, it was some sharp looking gear. And then in the main event was La Fashion Ingobernable Rouge, Dragon Lee and Kenny King against Villain Enterprises, Marty Scurll, the world champion, PCO, and Brody King. And, of course, that was a good fucking match.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And I've heard people say shit about Kenny King, and I was just like going, that
no,
fucking dude
good.
can wrestle.
He's good.
Yeah.
Kenny King is good.
He might be an asshole in real life or whatever. That fucking dude can wrestle.
Yeah, he can.
I don't care what you say. But
Kenny
they
King
all
is,
wrestled. Huh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say Kenny King is really good. Sometimes he phones it in on occasion. He'll take go a little lazy, but he's really good. Like, he can go.
Yeah, well, he was definitely going Sunday night. They were just, everybody was, hitting their shit and wrestling a good solid match, and then they actually got the win over Villain Enterprises. Crazy night. 2 nights in a row they lost 6-man tag team matches together. I bet you that's probably a first. And so then So then the heels left, and Marty and everybody's still out there, and he gets the microphone, and he says, thank everybody for coming here tonight. And he's like, I don't know if you heard. He's like, but I am staying right here in Ring of Honor. And we'd heard that. I'd heard that earlier in the day. And, the announcement was kind of made that, Marty Scurll was staying in Ring of Honor, and he was getting well paid, and that he was also going to be the head booker. So he also said that he was going to do everything he could to, help, bring bring Ring of Honor, turn it around and make it as best he possibly could. And that was pretty cool,
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. That's good. I should have crowd popped after you said that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And once again, it's just like, people are making decisions to not, to kind of, take charge of their own career and, go where they, really feel, that it's best for them. And because, 99% of, the internet wrestling community was like, as soon as Marty, has his last match, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's gone. And like 75% of people said he was going to AEW, and the other 25% said he was going to NXT, and then the other 0% said he was staying in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And I was never really sold on him leaving. To be honest, I was just like, because just the landscape of AEW right now, it's like, what's he going to do if he goes in?
Yeah.
Because they only have 3 hours a week, and they're only doing so much. You stick another big huge name in there right now, it's
you're speaking to a big issue in AEW, is that they don't do that much with everyone on the show. They give focused storylines to Jericho and Cody, and that's about it. Even like the other elite people don't get focused storylines. Their storylines are all messy and all over the place, and sometimes things are just dropped, and yeah, all their booking is all fucked up and messy, so it would be a hard sell in a way.
Yeah.
And apparently, the rumor was that he was getting, really good money to stay. So, and then in the
and he
first
gets a head book, so that's enticing itself right there.
And in the first 3 days, they announced that Jay White, ELP, Will Ospreay, and Kenta are all coming to Ring of Honor.
Wow.
In Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
James, your neck of the woods? No.
Yeah, I got a little beef with that because I didn't know tickets went on sale yesterday morning. I didn't get any kind of notifications or anything because I signed up for the Lakeland shows every time at that building. Every time something shows up, I would get an alert, and I'm getting alerts to all kinds of different things, and I didn't get anything, nothing, zero. And then I found out this morning.
Yeah, there's still tickets on the floor, James.
Really? Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab my tablet right now.
I'm looking at it right now. There's
really?
There's tickets on the floor.
Okay.
There's at least 50 seats left on the floor.
The action part of the show is now.
So just helping out. Just helping out our brother here.
CC.
Yeah, because I was upset this morning. I was like, wait a minute, what? No, because I found out Kenta was coming. I was like, oh, now I'm like really interested in going. Because I was saying to myself, I know that whole Lakeland, Tampa area is going to be a mess that weekend because it's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
So it's going to be savage, it's going to be savage. And I was like, but then I started finding out that New Japan stars are like actually being booked. Osprey and stuff like that, as you mentioned. And then this morning I found like Kenta. I was like, oh, that's it. So then I started to look at, all right, okay, when tickets are going on sale. Oh, they went on sale yesterday. I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? Hold on. And I kind of got pissed off. So I'm a little, I got a little heat with me on it right now, but it's okay. If I get some tickets, I'll be happy again. So that's good.
There you go. So then, right in my backyard, just about literally, last night was SmackDown, WWE's Friday night show on Fox.
SmackDown Live for the God of Thunder. Well, it makes sense because now you're famous, so you got to be on network television.
If I was famous, I'd have been a lot closer to the damn ring.
I can't be on cable no more on YouTube. I got to be on network television.
You got to be on network television. If you watch the playback of the show, they zoom in on Zeus and he winks directly at the camera.
Exactly.
And then the bar comes up and it says Zeus, King Dark.
Yeah, totally.
Home of the Trudeau. Yeah, there you go.
But so it was it was a fun night. I mean, it was amazing how many people showed up. I mean, that was a, if that wasn't a sellout, it was really damn close.
How did you find SmackDown overall?
But last night was a fun show overall.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple things that were a little too short, but I mean, overall they did a good job. I mean, the crowd was really into it from, pretty much the get-go. There was only a few times they got kind of quiet. I think the Lacey and Bailey match went on a little too long. And, but
they were hype on Johnny Mundo or no?
At first it was a little quiet, but then it kind of built up. I mean, the fans are into the New Day.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the fans love the New Day. I mean, the New Day rocks, and I mean, they are fun, and it's hard to boo those guys. It really is. Yeah. I mean, if they want to put Johnny over as a face, they're not, against the New Day, against the New Day is not. That's not the way. But yeah, when he hit that flip off the top on the Kofi, I mean, people went nuts, and that was kind of a match that kind of built up, and the more it went. The longer it went, I think the more the crowd got into it. But there's a lot of fans there that were in that, like, in the late 20s to early 40s range. And you're talking about a lot of people who completely forgot or never even watched WCW, and have never watched anything in the last 20 years.
Right.
And they've grown up on WWE. They're, and these people that, and they have kids, and there was a lot of kids there, around 10 years old, and they were all into it, and it just, they are, they have spent the last 20 years, basically growing 2 generations of fans and beyond. And I mean, even like Lacey Evans was pretty over.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the whole storyline about her kid and everything. Yeah, she became a face, and now she's getting over again. Yeah, she's getting over.
Yeah, and which is funny because she's still basically the same character.
Yeah,
she just has different. She just has different opponents now.
Yeah,
and
her gear is kind of weird for.
Well, she's supposed to be a Southern Belle, so
Well, I know, but it just looks weird.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like 1914, like butchered swimsuit.
Yeah.
And I say that because that's when my grandfather graduated from college at University of Wisconsin, when there was only one university in Wisconsin, and I've seen the yearbook with the swimsuit photos, and let me tell you something, boys. Those ankles, hot. No, I think she's kind of pushing more of that, kind of that, that World War II pinup, type of look.
Yeah.
And but like I said, she was over. I think Bayley was kind of over. She's
actually not bad as a heel.
Yeah, I think she's better at it. And somebody stuck their hand out to high five her on the way back to the locker room, and she kicked their hand with her like with her opposite foot.
That's good. That's good. She's actually working it as a heel. I'm like, I gotta give her a little credit for that,
Yeah, and
it's not bad.
And then they had the Otis thing.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Otis,
Mandy Rose.
That's really weird too, because some of the stuff we got to see, and we got to see those backstage, cutaways and things, and it was I mean, we like, if you're not dead, that Sonya Deville is gay. She's a lesbian.
Yeah.
But she's like, now she has this interest in Otis?
I don't think that was what they were going for.
I mean, but still, to want him like as a good luck charm or anything, like she's like, I kind of see what you see in him. I'm like, well, what the fuck do you see in him, Mandy? Because
my takeaway was she had seen that like Otis being out there had distracted Alexa Bliss, and Mandy had gotten the pin on Alexa Bliss the week before. So she was
trying to go for the same thing.
Yeah, she wanted Otis out there to distract so she can get the pin on Alexa too.
Obviously Otis is just he's just all about but then
they're trying.
Mandy's like yeah, but why do you want him out there?
I think Sonya Deville is still pissed with WWE for they rejected her lesbian storyline, but
everybody was into it.
And like as soon as they rejected her storyline, that's when they came out with the whole shit with Lana and Liv Morgan. So actually Sonya Deville is a little pissed right now. So I don't know if they're trying to feed her like as a sorry or as an apology or something, or like they're trying to push a little bit more with this whole thing with Otis now. I don't know.
I hate that I know this, but I only know this because of stuff I saw people talking about. So they did a storyline on that Diva show,
right,
where Sonya Deville had pitched the lesbian storyline with her and Mandy.
Her and Mandy Rose, and they got rejected.
Well, no.
No?
It was Sonya Deville's girlfriend had issues with it. She didn't feel comfortable with it. So they shot it down, but then her girlfriend came around, but then they moved it on to Liv Morgan and Lana.
Pedro watching Tony.
I didn't watch it.
It's okay, baby. It's all good.
I didn't watch it. I just heard people talking about it because when the thing with Liv Morgan and Lana happened, people were like, well, "Oh, didn't Sonya Deville want to do a storyline like this?" And people said, "Well, it was on the Divas show." Blah blah blah. Okay, sorry. Continue. I didn't mean to derail.
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, it. You know,
How does Sonya Deville look in person, Zeus? I heard she could really wrestle really good.
yeah, she's got that. You know, she's got the the MMA vibe to her, and she's throwing some heavy knees, and she was like I said, that was kind of a short match.
Mm-hmm.
And it had the big fall, distraction.
And they're trying to protect Alexa Bliss too, so I'm sure she's not going to go nuts on her,
Yeah. So I think Sonya Deville kind of got, I think she kind of got squashed prematurely way back by Ronda, and I thought that was kind of a stupid thing because I mean, Ronda just steamrolled her and just like squashed her, and I think that hurt her overall. Perception by the WWE faithful because, but anyway, like I said, it was a fun match. Nikki Cross was really, she was really into it and she was helping.
I like Nikki Cross.
She was having a lot of fun getting the crowd into it and the fans were really into Otis and what's his name? I mean, Otis was doing all kinds of crazy shit. It was borderline cringy to me.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you, Zeus. I'm with you on that.
I mean, just the tongue flicking and the dip gyrating and thrusting and
that thing he does with his shoulders, like
it's yeah. Like I said, but hey, they loved it. Go, more power to them.
I can see Zeus walking around with an Otis t-shirt.
Yeah, what's the name of his tag team? High Voltage?
Heavy Machinery, yeah.
Yeah, Heavy Machinery.
High Voltage was WCW, yeah.
Right.
High Voltage.
Who was High Voltage?
That was Kenny Chaos and
yes. Kenny Chaos and Brian. What's his name?
I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Oh man. Oh, I like looking at the sound of typing.
Robbie Rage and Kenny Chaos.
Okay.
Who is the other guy in Heavy
I was
Machinery?
thinking about Brian Adams. I'm thinking about Brian
apparently
Adams.
that's his brother. I don't know if that's his brother or if it's
like we all know Otis. Who's the other guy?
Yeah, no. I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta feel kind of bad for that guy.
Well, they cut a promo afterwards, and that was posted. That was posted through social media and stuff, and of course, still even continuing when he's talking, he's cringy.
Didn't
what do you think about seeing Kane?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's like he was at WrestleCade in 2018, and that was that went on a little longer than I thought it would. And then all of a sudden, went red for the Fiend, and the Fiend coming up out of the ring, and that was a hell of a way to start off the show. And then Daniel Bryan coming in and kicking the Fiend in the face and pulling out some of his dreadlocks while he went back underneath the ring. And I was like, he's stuck under there. I'm like, go after him. Unless like they'd fallen out and like ended up in Bray Wyatt's Playhouse or whatever they call it.
There's a portal.
See, I have the link to the RP Funding Center. Okay, I'm subscribed to that, and they're supposed to send me these things every time tickets go on sale a week in advance for everything. I get all kinds of notices for all kinds of shows at the RP Funding Center. But did I get anything for the Ring of Honor Supercard? No, I did not.
Well, that sounds like a problem with the venue, not with the Ring of Honor.
Yes, I know. I'm gonna bitch about RP Funding Center soon too. Fuck
This
that.
is James right now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at tickets, Zeus.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, there's ones left on the floor.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Let me see if I can get.
There's a couple of them right. Like there's a couple of them right on the, like 2 or 3 of them right on the end of an aisle, end of a row.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close to it, you know. So at least you can get out if you have to. But
hey, Zeus, what was the main event? Was Roman Reigns and Bobby Roode, right? In a tables match, or
yeah, that wasn't bad. Oh, and you know they had the Usos.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. And I keep looking for it, dude. But I am yet to be really overly impressed with the Revival. There are people, they just keep telling me how good these guys are.
They are nothing like they were in NXT.
How good they are.
They were.
You know, and I just don't see it. They're very capable guys, and I think they're like about as good as Z-Man ever got.
They were better in NXT.
They were a lot better in NXT.
I mean, that's like people's. It should be their tagline.
It's true for like a lot of people who from NXT who come up to the main roster. They don't deliver like they did in NXT for a number of reasons. It just doesn't work out. I mean,
and what it is, I mean, it like, of course, because you're driving a story with the match instead of using a match to have a story. You know,
right?
I think that's the difference between main roster and NXT. Is the action in the ring tells the story in NXT, and the action in the ring is a vehicle for the story that's being told throughout the main roster.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think they're, when they think that they're the next, when they're today's version of Tully and Arn, I'm like, sadly, not even close.
I mean, you bring up a good point. If they're going to be, if you're going to be like a top level tag team, you're going to have to kind of master all the different things, like not just the one thing, the other thing. So.
Yeah, and like I said, they're capable. They're capable. They're not stupid. They basically know what they're doing. But as far as being great, I don't think so. And I think if you got some, kind words from Arn Anderson one time, maybe you should just remember his criticisms more than his, than the nice shit he said. So. Whatever the hell he told you were doing wrong or needed to do better, maybe you should work on that shit.
Well, I know they were being booked in a stupid comedic role, and I don't know why they're going along with it. But I'm
just talking about their ring work. I'm just not. I just don't. I'm just like, okay, well, you're definitely better than average, but. I mean, it's nothing.
The Usos make people look good too, so but they look good. Yeah, but the NXT Revival were badass.
I don't care because they don't get in there and they don't make me fucking hate them.
Yeah,
they don't make the good guy. I mean, they're just, I don't know. They're just not. They just don't do anything for me.
They're not doing it for you, Zeus, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, the Usos are fucking full of fucking life and. They were connecting with the fans, and the fans were into them. And did you see that fucking splash from the top rope?
Yeah.
At the finish? Holy shit. He looked right in the damn camera. Like the whole way down. And boom, hit that. I was like, wow, that is somebody that I'm like, holy shit.
The Usos are good, man. The Usos are good. I've always been a fan of the work, man.
And so
I love to see them fight the Briscoes.
Oh man.
But then you look at then we had Corbin talking backstage saying, it's like the winner of the main event gets to choose the match stipulation for the Royal Rumble between Corbin and Roman Reigns. So, Bobby Roode had won, then Corbin could have gotten to choose what kind of match they had, and then, and once again, younger people and all those fans there exploded when Roman Reigns came out. They were all into Roman Reigns, and people that don't like him, you don't have to like him, but to say that he's being shoved down your throat, sure, maybe you think that, but there's a shit ton of fans that are on board with him.
Yep.
Well, he's definitely over. Either, if you like him or not, he's over.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that people act like, that don't like him. That they're just like, oh no, he's terrible, he sucks, and nobody likes him. Like, well, he might not, you might not like him, but there's a lot of people that do like him.
Oh yeah.
So, fun, once again, fun match. Run in from, Corbin came out and they turned the lights out on the stage and prepped that Corbin and the throne and everything. And which was great because they picked him up and moved him 10 whole feet from where he was to where the throne sat, and and then who's the other? Oh yeah,
Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. So Ziggler's interfering and Corbin's interfering and Roode's trying to get the win, and then the Usos come out and even the odds and clear the house, and Roman hits the big spear through the table for the win over Bobby Roode. So, and they didn't even Roode jumped the gun, and he didn't even get his big glorious entrance thing.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Yeah, went
I
straight.
don't upset. It's because I wanted to see glorious.
Yeah. But the best thing about him in the WWE, right, is glorious.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I heard a lot of people saying that. They're like, "Oh man, we don't get Bobby Roode." And so, yeah, I mean, even too, like the whole the announcement about the title match with The Fiend and Bryan Danielson for that night was confusing to me and a lot of other people. Like, when the hell is that match going to take place? It's like
it happened after 205 Live too. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's a dark match. It's not weird.
Yeah, but after two.
No, it is weird.
I'm talking about
a world title match to be on a dark match after a secondary show.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you do it right after SmackDown goes off the air.
It's not weird because they've been doing this for a few years now.
Okay, see, I'm not aware of that because I don't really watch WWE.
I know, but I haven't been watching either, but I see stuff about like the results and things like that, and I see what happens at the tapings, and I know they've been doing this for a few years.
You're so well connected, Pedro.
I'm not connected. It's just information.
I did see my good acquaintance Chris Mitchell from Pro Wrestling Torch before the matches, and spoke to him probably longer than he wanted to speak to me, but.
What was the stipulation of Roman Reigns to pick?
It's a false count anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So he says he wants to kick his ass all over the whole arena.
They do
those can be fun. I mean, I was at I was in Concord for Taz versus Sabu.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that was Falls Count Anywhere. Oh, so one thing I neglected to mention about Ring of Honor. At one point, Bubba Ray, or Bully Ray comes out and starts running his mouth. You know, he's insulting everybody, and then he's talking about how he put Maria Manic through a table at center stage the night before, and he keeps on running this big fat mouth, and then Maria Manic came out and starts fighting with him, and then the Allure comes out, and they slow Maria down enough to where Bubba starts, beating her pretty good with a chair. I mean, it was actually to the point of it feeling slightly uncomfortable.
Poor girl.
And then she Maria makes the comeback and then throws Bubba Ray through a table, and then they have to kind of cart his ass off. He laid in the middle of the broken table pieces for several minutes.
He sold it?
Oh yeah, he sold the shit out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was when they were helping him back to the backstage. He was very groggy and beat up looking, ugly as ever.
I'm going to say not letting me get back on.
He's had to get that in, dude.
Well, he did the same shit, as he did. It's like he's begging for a fight, and he's insulting people. It's like, there's like 40 security guards out here. Nobody's fighting you in the ring right now, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Go out, go run your mouth in the parking lot across the street from the damn arena. see what happens there.
Zeus, you had a busy week, my friend.
Yeah,
man. Month of January.
Yeah. Don't you have stuff next weekend?
No, God, yeah, it is next weekend. AML 5th anniversary next Saturday, the night after Hard Times.
Hard Times, that's right. Shit, that's right. Hard Times, that's right.
Yeah, and
New Japan.
And New Japan Tampa, right?
New Japan Durham. Be the following the 27th on that Monday evening.
Oh wow! Holy moly!
Yeah.
Yeah, busy guy.
Yeah, man. So we'll have more live reports here. Because apparently every wrestling company in the world wants to come to North Carolina in the month of January. I'm surprised there wasn't an Impact taping or something. It's like everybody's coming here. I mean, we had the NWA World Champion, the Ring of Honor, Honor Reigns Supreme. We've had AML, New Japan, WWE. I mean, who the hell else are we missing? Not many.
AEW.
No. All you need is AEW and NXT show. You're good to go. Jesus.
But they said that Durham Armory is, they've had NXT there before, so looks like a fun little building.
Well, Ring of Honor was a good show, right?
Yeah, man, I was really impressed. I don't think that there's they're just not there's just not a bunch of guys that don't look like they know what they're doing. They're all real capable, really solid fucking dudes, man. I was pretty impressed.
I mean, in the last year, all three of us have seen a Ring of Honor show now. We all enjoyed it.
I know. I know. And, I would have gone to the one last year at this time, but it was snowing and icy that night, and I didn't want to take a chance.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a ticket bought already, but I did. It was supposed to be PJ Black and Bandito, so I did want to see that. But who knows? So hopefully moving forward, they'll they'll have.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be back then.
Yeah, but I mean, just moving forward in general, I hope they're. I hope everything that they're doing is,
Well, after the whole Super
better.
Show up in the garden with New Japan, it went to shit. But now it's starting to turn around again,
Yeah.
and now you got Marty Scroll at the book, so who knows, man?
Gotta start following the TV show again.
Yeah. I got to start following Ring of Honor again, and then we may have gotten a little taste of it with all this, because he's actually making appearances on back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
So it might be a little test of the Marty Scroll influence.
Oh, he's definitely got the stroke, and hopefully, maybe we can get to see some Ring of Honor guys go to CMLL or something this year. Who knows?
Isn't Nick Aldis going to fight Flip Garden at Hard Times?
Yep. Oh yeah.
I don't even know what is the full card for that show. Have they announced the full card yet? Or
let
me look it up.
Well, it's the finals of the TV title tournament, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Wait, yeah, that's next Friday, right?
Yeah, the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aldis versus Flip Gordon, Tim Storm versus Zane Dawson. Oh yeah, that was another match that we missed from Power was Zane versus Dave Dawson, and
that's
Zane,
right.
Zane knocked out his brother with the cast.
Yeah.
And then so we still don't know who Ricky Starks, Zicky Dice, or the question mark will be wrestling.
Yes.
And then we will get to the finals. So there's still 3 guys that we don't even know who are in the damn tournament. So there's going to be four preliminary matches, then 2 semifinals and then the final.
Man, it's going to be packed. The TV title stuff. That should be good.
Yeah. So this is going to be. This will also be in Atlanta in the GPB studios.
Well,
which is, I mean, it's a fun arena, Fun little place.
Zeus, thank you so much for sharing all
man, great stuff.
Stories.
Well, what else am I going to do?
Yeah, but great stuff, man. It's good. That's some good stuff, man. Some really good stuff.
We know you're a busy celebrity.
Yeah, signing autographs and selling churros.
Yeah, well,
you're all over the place, and people want to be around you and take pictures with you. So we appreciate you taking time out
with us little people.
We can take a picture with you.
Like hanging out. Like hanging out with a small kinfolk. So it's all good.
I understand this year at WrestleCade they're gonna have like the Zeus tour where you take the people around.
Yeah, he's got his own booth.
Yeah, me and James are just gonna have our own booth. People are gonna come see us.
And they're going to be handing money to James. Like, are you the one that takes the money?
I'll take the money. Just give me that.
We'll
take the damn picture. Get the hell out.
we'll go to the train yard. We'll get a real goddamn hobo in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or hire the mutant.
I'll hire the mutant. Fuck it.
There has been a
I'll see me bumps for Zeus.
Yeah, they did have to change that that steel cage match for the 5th anniversary. It's still C.W. Anderson and the Gymnasty Boys, and on the other side is George South and that Devin Driscoll, and that other dude is a big dude too. I can't remember that guy's name, but that's going to be that should still be a good match, because I believe that because the Dawsons are going to be there in Atlanta for Hard Times, and then the TV tapings in the following 2 days.
Right. So, it should be still good a match. Well, I mean, come on, it's going to be good. Anything with C.W. Anderson is going to be good. So
yeah,
he's good.
And George South, C.W.
Of course, I mean that's the coming. I mean, come on, that's
the
George South.
Boys are solid.
Yeah.
I mean, they can wrestle any kind of match. The
NWA people need to be paying attention to this. Yeah, get the Gymnasty Boys in there.
Oh, I'm sure they'll make an appearance soon. I have a funny feeling they will. Against the Dawsons, that'd be a perfect matchup.
Oh yeah, because they hate each other.
Yeah, so I think it'd be good.
So.
I think it'd be good stuff. Zeus, good job, man. Going to SmackDown Live and the Ring of Honor. Good job, brother. Good job.
Go to sleep for
I know you.
Yeah.
I know you bought a Bailey shirt. I know you're gonna cut it up and mark out. Go ahead. It's okay.
I got a Bailey and a Sasha shirt.
Yeah, Sasha shirt.
I want to thank YYH and everyone listening.
Double Y, double H.
We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, I'm not sure what we'll talk about. We'll figure it out. We never did get to the Infinity Crisis stuff. If we were going to do that.
Oh yeah, that was a bit disappointing, except for the last 5 minutes.
To me, it was all disappointing, but turned out disappointing.
Come on, man! They did the whole of Justice and Gleek and the Super Friends. That was kind of hot.
Not really. We'll see y'all next week, one way or another. So, adios.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.